Mike, turn your games down.
Hi, we're doing an episode of Games My Mom Found. I am Mike Albertin, and who put their turtles in my Batman? Man, my turtles with me tonight.
TCRI employee, King Kuma.
I am Joe Butler, and I sure like to steal Batman's clothes and put them on.
I believe that.
Hey everybody, it's Kenneth Sanity. Absolutely not riding a T-Rex, which is kind of a cow bummer.
I like that one. So we are here to talk about Batman vs. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, animated movie directed by Jake Castrona. I said that wrong, I'm sure. Production by Warner Brothers DC and came out in 2019, which I have now seen twice.
So, watching the opening of this movie completely made me forget that fucking Nickelodeon owns the rights to fucking TMNT.
Yeah, they do.
They have.
I'm fine with it.
Yeah, they do, but this was something. I didn't expect this from, even with, Warner Brothers coming in and doing their Warner things. This was a lot more hardcore than I expected.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's different. It's not what you would, what you expect from a Batman animated movie or Turtles.
It's what I expect from a Batman animated movie. It's not what I expect from the 2019 Ninja Turtles.
Okay, fair.
I don't expect people getting visibly, knifed through or heads coming off in a Nickelodeon property. I don't expect it, but I got it, and I'm not angry at it.
No, it's a good animated film. Like, it's always like to start these off with our memories. So I had not watched this until about 2 months ago for the first time because another podcast that I work with, conversation with Robbie Sherman, he asked, he wanted to do it. So I said, sure. And then I had to buy it on Amazon, which I'm still upset about because I couldn't just watch it on Max that I pay for, but neither here nor there. But so I just saw the movie for the first time in 2 months and I enjoyed it. And I watched it again today for this podcast. That's my history. Joe.
I've never seen this either. But I do have vast history of TMNT and Batman knowledge. I've always wanted to watch this, but usually whenever I find something and Mike says, I should probably do that for the podcast one day, I'm like, I'll just watch it whenever Mike wants to do it for the podcast. That's usually how that works. Still have not watched both Batman Ninja movies.
We will change that.
Yeah.
Maybe.
You're a Batman.
You're Batman.
For us. Ken.
I don't really have any history with this outside of watching it yesterday. I knew the comics existed. I didn't know the movie existed until you asked me to do this. And I was kind of like, well, that's a Reese's peanut butter cup moment for sure. Because I like Batman, as we all know. That was how I got started on this podcast, was talking about Batman. And I like Ninja Turtles. I always have, from the black and white comics to I don't know when I stopped caring so much about Ninja Turtles, but I have established love for both. So this would seem like it would be right up my alley, wouldn't it? You would think that.
All right. And Rich.
Well, I started with the comics of the Batman crossover with Turtles and absolutely loved it. So when they announced the movie coming out, I was like, oh, I'm sure it'll be watered down, whatever. But I'll check it out when it comes out. So came out, watched it, liked it for what it was. And here we are again today, covering it again.
I mean, every year we do one Turtles movie of some sort. And apparently this is this year's. So I should do more, but I slowly do them.
Year of Batman.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of just worked out perfectly. I'm like, all right.
So
I'm trying to do a bunch of Batman movies this year. I've done that multiple times, but I'm trying to do a lot this year.
So I know they're two different properties, and obviously
They are.
Before we dig super deep in this movie, you know how like Marvel has their what if scenarios?
Yeah.
You're telling me no one's wanted to make a fucking Batman comic where instead of adopting Dick Grayson, he adopts 4 turtles and we have 4 Robin turtles? Because I would pay money. I'd pay money to read that.
Yeah, I'd be down for that.
Why? They would just die. That's what Robins do.
No, only 2 have died so far. Well, no, Tim's died
2 out of
a few times.
what, 4? Meatloaf would say that's not bad, but that's not good.
No, dude,
No, that's not good. That's a 50% survival rate.
What? No, it's like 2 out of like 7. There's like 7. 4 out of 7. I've got to do some
Getting worse
math.
real fast there.
Boy, oh boy. We sure wandered down a road that we can't come back from. Batman, Father of the Year.
I mean, in the words of that one meme that pops up every so often on Facebook, I mean, depends on the number. 4 people that died out of 7? Not good. And I don't have another comparison. But yes.
Batman's good at many things, and family is definitely not one of them. I mean, Raphael even had to correct him on top of that during this movie.
Mhm.
Batman says, we're not family, we're a team. Raphael says, isn't that the same thing?
Not when you're a bat tier. So, nope. Nothing to my Joe. I'm sad. The one thing I always think about with Batman and Turtles, I think about what fiction that they're drawing from. This Batman is not a Batman that we've had in any other animated movies or anything else. But it feels like a continuation of who does the drawing of this where he has the big pointy ears and this costume? It feels like it's from like one of those eras.
This is the 70s blue-ish Batman.
That's the word.
Yeah.
And these turtles feel like it's the cartoon turtle from the 87 cartoon, but not as goofy.
It's kind of a mix between them and the 90s movie, especially with Shredder.
Oh,
yeah. And a lot of the things they say are direct pulls from the live action movies, which is weird.
I didn't notice that. That is weird.
Yeah, there's so like the scar he has, that's from Splinter scratching him when Splinter's a rat.
In the 90s movie, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay, that's just from the 90s movie?
Yes.
Huh.
That is a weird pull.
So is that his outfit. His outfit is from that movie, which is also reminiscent of the 84 comic when he debuted.
It's also weird. And just the way that some of the villains are like Penguin, that design of Penguin is very goofy.
That's you guys might agree, but he's from that looks like the animated TV series version of Penguin to me.
It kind of does, yeah. Like with the very pronounced nose.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's what happens if you cross the Batman the Animated Series Penguin with Batman Returns Penguin and subtract the Sex Pest.
Fair enough.
Look, you can do the Penguin 2 different ways, and it's always better to lean the other way, which is the Danny DeVito part Penguin, part man villain. Because lately they've been doing it to where he's kind of sexy and he wears a penguin mask, and I'm like, I don't want to see that. I like my fat guy Penguin.
That's a different Penguin. That's probably Emperor Penguin.
Telltale does that, and I didn't like that. I like that Penguin, but I didn't like that Penguin.
Like,
yeah,
I like my Arkham Penguin.
Yeah.
My Arkham Penguin, who like sounds like he's straight out of like heavy Cockney neighborhood, and he's got like the monocle, except in Arkham City, like he shoved a Coke bottle into his face, and he's like, "Oh, cool, blimey, you took me guns, you did." Oh, like I like that Penguin.
It's just such a goofy fucking Penguin, and it works. I mean, he's not in here much, but their take on their villains is very goofy.
Anytime he falls on his ass, I love the squawks.
Oh God, Goofy is
Goofy.
Goofy is a mild take. These villains are absolutely insane.
I wanna point something out here since we're on the Penguin topic. Did you guys take a decent look at his henchmen?
Oh yeah. I think I know exactly what you're going to bring up.
I know one of them.
One of Penguin's henchmen looks like Krang's bodysuit,
which also looks like the leader mutant from Dark Knight Returns.
Yes.
There you go.
The comic, not the movie that you're thinking. Or yes, movie too, but not what Joe was maybe thinking at first.
Yeah. No, that's Dark Knight Rises. That's different.
Yes, and bad.
So there's also a game I love to play that we always play. That's Joe's favorite game. Can y'all guess what that game is?
I have how many nickels in my pocket?
No. What Robin is that? You can always try to figure out which Robin it is by guessing. Give an example. Is the Robin dead? Yes, it's probably Jason. Is it just a regular Robin that's dressed normally? Your options are either Tim or Dick. But you know it's Tim because if it's Tim, Nightwing will show up. But there's no Nightwing in this, sadly. And of course, you have the always infamous, oh, that Robin wears a hood. If he wears a hood and probably carries a sword, it's 99% probably Damien.
What if he has a hood but carries a bow staff?
Also Tim.
No.
Okay.
This is absolutely Damien.
This is
I
Damien.
was wondering.
Though.
Okay, because he doesn't have a lot of the Damieisms that I'm used to.
He calls him father.
Yeah, he says father
when
Batman's
he does.
down. So unless everybody's gotten really weird, it's absolutely Damien.
Yeah.
I mean, they do wear a costume and go out at night, so. Hey.
What a bastard. Oh, I hate Damien.
I know you do.
But he was tolerable here.
He was toned down in this, especially compared to the comic version of this same scenario. He was a little more violent. Him and Raph really kind of went at it a lot more in the comic. Here he's a little bit toned down, which I did not mind.
He minded a little bit, but for a dumb reason. So, because the more annoying Damian is, the more irritated Ken gets when we talk about it. So,
Yep.
he's a
Also,
little toned down.
bold choice to put Batman in blue undies.
Yes, but I think it fits what they're going for with the style of this movie.
I will say I have always loved the blue 70s Batman kind of style. I just don't understand why they put it in. Like in the comics, it's that darker. I think what was it, Ken that posted that screenshot?
Yeah.
It's that like gray and black kind of more modern take on the Batman suit, whereas they just kind of went with this. I don't know the logic behind it, but I don't hate it either.
I have a theory on that. I think they put him in the gray and blue because everybody's memories of gray and blue Batman are the Batman TV show, right? Like most people's memories are. And that show is campy at best, in absolutely cocained out at worst. And I don't think you can have like darker suit Batman with these turtles doing what they are, because in the movie, they're a lot more Ninja Turtle-y. Like, the teenage part is really amped up because Nickelodeon. But in the comic's actually pretty severe. Like,
it's a little grittier, yeah.
Yeah, because I read the comic before I watched the movie, because I thought when Mike asked, we were covering the comic, so I bought the comic.
We will be at some point. I've been meaning to for a few years now.
But then when he clarified 5 minutes later it was a movie, I was like, well, now I got to buy that. And I did, but I indulged in both of them.
Read the comic once, but I have it was back when it first came out, so I have no memory of what's what for that. I just know I want to cover it, all three of them, because there are three comic storylines.
I have 2.
Yeah, there's definitely 3.
Oh.
Yeah, there's 3. I've read 2 out of the 3.
All right.
See, you learn new things on the show, Ken.
Update my wish list.
I think the way they did that they do the turtles in here is also really good. I appreciate that they're goofy and they're the turtles, but they also have enough time to stand in this movie. Like, I felt like every team got their moment, and it wasn't just a Batman movie or wasn't just a Turtles movie. And I appreciate that they weren't dumb like that.
Yeah, everybody got a moment to shine. It wasn't the typical JLA and Power Rangers situation.
I will bitch about that comic forever.
Yeah.
I was so upset.
I love the turtles in this. They're just little guys, and I love all their little funny head shapes and all the goofy things they do. They're just little guys.
I mean, they are super goofy in this.
I thought they portrayed every turtle's personality to a T. Like, and they meshed it in very well with how awkward it might be to interact with Batman, and it was magic, really.
One of my stupid, weird complaints is the part that doesn't make sense to me. Isn't Gotham essentially New York in the DC world?
For the most part. I mean, it's not actually New York, but it is definitely based on it.
Thought it was Detroit.
Yeah, it's like a combination of Chicago and New York.
Yeah, but
because New York doesn't have the L trains that animated Gotham does.
But also, Chicago's not an island.
No, that's why I said a combination.
Okay.
That's what happens when you put 2 not the same things together.
Also, Gotham outlooks the ocean, so it also couldn't be Chicago or Detroit.
I don't know. You ever see Lake Michigan? It might as well be the ocean.
Yeah, it feels like the ocean when you live there.
Oh, I wouldn't know.
Yeah, you cannot see Michigan from Chicago, I promise. Even on the most clearest of clear days.
I mean, I don't know. You can see Russia from Alaska, so hey, who knows?
Oh, God.
There's a fun thing that I like that they've been doing recently. Where they've been making the turtles all very, very different. They do that in the movie, the live action fucking Transformers movie.
Mm-hmm. Michael Bay movie.
Michael Bay, yeah. Which, as much as those movies are shitty, that was always an okay idea to make them vastly different. The cartoon that came out afterwards, I like it a little bit more which I don't know if it ruins it. I like to hear you guys' opinion on it. Where they're not also brothers anymore. They're just kind of raised together because they're all different turtles. I don't know how to feel about that. I don't know how y'all feel about that. Like,
I've never watched that show, unfortunately.
Rise of the TMNT.
Yeah,
I think
I haven't tried it.
Raphael's a snapping turtle and Donatello's a soft shell turtle, and like they're all different turtles.
I mean, in the original, I don't think they were initially they called each other brothers, but they weren't brothers in the original Mirage run.
Well,
Like
plus,
that, but
they're animals. Animals aren't going to be the same as like, they're just, they're not like, oh.
later iterations, they are undoubtedly brothers. I mean, because of the reincarnation aspect of it, they are brothers in that sense. The past ones, I don't think that's the way it went.
And that also brings me another question that as you bring it all up. I bring up a lot, and I usually can't remember. Is Splinter originally a man or a rat?
And this depends on the universe you're talking about. If you're talking about the 87 cartoon, he is a human. If it's almost any other iteration, he happens to typically be a rat. And the IDW one that came out in 2014 or so, he was a human that was reincarnated into a rat. So you get best of both worlds, buddy.
Okay.
Well, that's how you do it. That's a fucking combination.
Yeah, that's probably a better combination than him being, because I had an argument with my husband about it. I hate when he's a rat because it makes less sense to how he knows how to be a ninja. Like sometimes it's like, oh well, he was a rat who watched his master train. I'm like, that's not how that works.
I mean, what do you mean? You mean your dog doesn't watch? I was gonna say, what do you mean our cats aren't watching me and practicing what I'm doing? What do you mean?
If I come home and my cat's on my PC, I don't know whether to be upset or really happy.
So no, it's a dumb concept. I prefer the concept of it's a human that touched a rat, or I prefer it's a human that got beheaded by a crazy man and then becomes a rat. I'm okay with that too.
In my opinion, IDW finally got it right when they reincarnated the Japanese feudal Japan kids and their father that were brutally murdered by Shredder into these animals. How many years later? I like that. It's fine with me.
What the hell?
I mean,
it's better than you think.
Makes sense.
That IDW run is hella good.
That sounds crazy, but also badass.
And they don't tell you either right away either. They hide it for a little bit before you actually get all the information.
It's not too far in, but yeah, it's some good stuff.
Because then
I recommend that run.
You have the worst one, which we were just talking about, which I praise, but also is bullshit. You have the stupid Michael Bay one where he trains them using a VHS tape, and it pisses me off to no extent.
I have no memory of that movie, and I'm trying to keep it that way.
Look, Michael Bay doesn't count because he wanted to make them aliens, and everyone was like, no.
The backlash on that was insane.
They were going
to take the movie away from him, actually, from what I heard.
He probably deserved that.
That
sounds awful. I've only seen it once. I saw it in theaters. I've never seen it since, so I have no recollection of that movie.
Go to our friendly Discord and make Mike do both of those movies, and I will make him drink while we watch it.
It's on my list to get to, like many things, but it's not high on that list. And I keep finding animated movies to cover instead, like this one, so I don't have to. So, yes. If I could do shit like this, I'm doing shit like this.
So this movie has the best opening ever, even though after the turtles fight the penguin. I love the idea of Batman and Shredder fighting each other, and they're just two guys going at it, if you really think about it.
Yeah, that was a dream setup for me. Like, back when I saw it in the comic, I was like, holy shit, this is everything I ever wanted. So when they actually animated it into the movie, yeah, they did a great job. And I will say, guys, back to that 1990s first movie that came out, when Shredder drops down from that window, that is a direct shout out to that movie.
Okay, I haven't seen those movies in fucking forever.
I watch the first Turtles movie once a year. So I cannot forget.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah, those movies hold up pretty okay.
First one does, yeah.
Second one does.
Yeah, and then you stop right there.
Also, guys, before we hit the gas as we go along, we're talking about the opening here. Reminiscent of the animated Batman series with the blimps in the sky and the moon and everything. I mean, that's kind of what they were shooting for with that.
And I think they achieved it.
I
put me in that mindset, especially with Troy Baker sounding like great value Kevin Conroy.
Yeah, that got me confused for a little bit.
It made me sad that it wasn't Kevin Conroy, but he hadn't passed away yet, I don't think, at this point. I think he was just sick, I'm assuming.
Or he just didn't fucking want to, which I get it.
Sure.
It's not his Batman, so.
No, it's not. He's always been my Batman, so.
Yeah, but Troy Baker does an okay job.
He's a good voice actor.
He's a voice actor.
Okay.
I don't particularly care for him as a person because he said some really stupid shit. But
okay, never mind.
That was Troy Baker. Okay, me and my husband had that talk during this movie.
Yeah, Troy Baker did Batman and Joker for this. So like props, I guess, for being the first one to do both. And that's a nice little meta commentary on how you can't have one without the other. But like, do your own thing, man. Don't try. He's trying so hard to sound like Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill.
Yeah, I legit thought that was Mark Hamill for like a third of the movie.
Yeah, no, he's really imitating both of them. You can feel it.
Yeah, just do your thing, man.
Also,
Do your thing, baby girl.
Do you think the studio requested it?
It's entirely possible.
Yeah.
Is that you are right? That opening does feel like Batman animated series. I didn't catch it the first 2 times. I must have not been paying enough attention. But the third time when I was watching it while we're talking, I finally saw it. I also got to say, Barbara Gordon looks just like April in the beginning of this movie.
That's what I thought.
Me too.
And here we have Warner Brothers continuing the trend of inserting Barbara Gordon wherever when she wasn't there the first time.
Oh, she's not in the comic?
At all.
Oh.
She's not in the first run. I think they might introduce her like later on, but in this portion, no.
Yeah.
Huh. You don't need her in this. You have Robin. Like, it's good enough. I didn't mind her, but you don't need her.
You have to have the foil for each character so they can match the wackiness of the other character. You have Batman, who tries to be a leader, who matches Leonardo, who's also trying to be the leader for his annoying brothers. You have a pissed off little Damien who fist fights a pissed off Raphael. You have to have smart Donatello with Barbara, who's also smart. And then because they couldn't put Dick in this fucking movie, you have to have annoying Michelangelo pissing off Alfred.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, it's not, but it is.
I mean, it could have used Nightwing. But yeah, no, the Michelangelo Alfred thing is kind of odd. Michelangelo is also really annoying in this, but it does fit the character. Another stupid complaint that I have with this movie is how they get in the Batcave. That they swim through a tunnel that one of Batman's villains is a fucking crocodile man. Like, he would have had a plan.
Yeah. The funny thing about Croc is that he's in the comic.
Oh.
But he's not in the movie.
Weird.
Yeah.
It
is. Like, it's weird the decisions they made. I will say that.
I talk about weird decisions. I thought I didn't get too into it, but we have that Shredder fight with Batman. He just straight up kills that guy.
Yeah, they kill a few people in this. But
ninja star to the foot soldier's forehead. Yeah.
Yeah, like
definitely dead.
There's a body count in this movie, and you're like, holy shit.
Not just a body count. There's a substantial body count.
Well, turtles do kill people. Like, that's not... They've been doing that since the original comic. They do kill. He kills too. He just depends on your ration, Batman. He just doesn't shoot you. But maybe he thought, well, the ninja star didn't kill you instantly, so as long as I don't pull it and try to save your life, I don't have to. You died from natural causes, of bleeding to death.
See, here's the thing. Batman doesn't have experience with ninja stars, so there is a legitimate possibility that he might not know.
He throws giant batarangs. Telling me he doesn't know what the fucking ninja star is.
Stop with your sense.
Yeah, that's how I feel too. I mean, I think it's only certain Batman that don't kill people. A lot of Batman kill people.
No.
We're getting more and more of it.
What do you mean? Like, if you're talking about Arkham, probably most of those guys had internal bleeding and eventually
they're all
died.
dead.
That's what you mean?
They are all dead.
But intentionally killing people, unless you're talking about that Thomas Wayne, with guns, I mean, that's the only Batman that, like, purposely kills people.
Ben Affleck Batman.
Ben Affleck Batman kills people. It's fucking hilarious. Apparently so does Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. But that's a story for another day.
What was it? The first 1989 Batman movie? Didn't Keaton kill somebody in there? Like, he dropped somebody from a tall height?
He blows up a plant that they're in. They're all dead.
Oh shit! There's a guy in Returns where he's on a motorcycle and he like straps a bomb to him and he like blows up off screen or something.
Oh, he's dead too.
So some Batmen do kill, yes.
It just varies on which one you're talking about. In Batman Begins, he doesn't kill you, but he doesn't have to save you. So it just varies.
It's absolutely killing.
Yes, it is.
Batman loophole. It's fine.
I mean, yeah.
Fine.
I really, in this movie, in the Batcave's like from like the '60s bat suits, which I find interesting that they do that for no real reason.
I like that they had the original, like with the red.
Oh, that's what that was.
Original Bob Kane, Bill Finger one.
Oh, that's an ugly ass costume.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Well, then we're glad he's better off now.
I didn't know his original concept.
Like way back in the beginning.
There's there's a weird concept where they sometimes make it to where all Batmans are canon. I don't know how they get away with it, but they do. I say as the White Knight, which is a run that happened recently. They're all using. There's a part where they're all in Batman cars, and they're in cars from the entire series. So like Dick Grayson's in like the '60s Batmobile, but there's like one of the Robins is in like a fucking the Tumbler from the Nolan movies, and it doesn't make any fucking sense whatsoever. But it's like, you know what though, I appreciate the callback. So
I'm gonna say something crazy, Joe.
Huh.
Comic books.
I know, but like it's
No, it doesn't make any sense. Well, I mean, you could say multiverse depending on if they try to explain it, because comics. Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense. Tumblr, you get it in somewhere. I do want to read White Knight. Oh, and one of the
really remember that.
security guards that gets killed when they go to Arkham, he has a cup to Gotham's best dad right before he gets murdered. It made me laugh.
Did not notice that.
That belongs to Batman.
It just made me laugh that it's saying like world's best dad or like something like that. It says Gotham's best. Made me chuckle that they put that in. That someone went through the trouble to put that on the cup. I also appreciate it that Ra's al Ghul is the villain that they choose from Batman, the main villain, to work with Shredder. I think that's a good combo there.
I
agree.
Are any of us surprised? Oh, the ninja's working with the other ninja. Oh my god.
No, it's fair, but Ra's al Ghul is also one of his smarter villains when it comes to something like this that could work with somebody.
Yeah, I don't love how they both are just like, I fucking hate you. Like, they get there, but like, that shouldn't be their starting point, you know?
No, but maybe because they're too much alike. They're both backstabbers?
I mean, maybe, but now. Okay, now that we're on Ra's al Ghul, let's talk about what pisses me off the most. This movie cannot decide how to pronounce his name.
Oh.
No, dude, that's the joke.
Not a joke Ken likes.
Because Shredder's Japanese, he says Raish, but because everyone else is American, they say Raz.
Batman says Raish and Raz.
Does he really?
Says Raish and Raz.
That's funny then. I didn't catch that.
That's annoying.
I thought only Shredder called him Raish and everyone else called him Raz, and I was like, oh, that's the joke because he's Japanese. But
that would work, but not when everybody's doing it.
Okay.
Yeah, like, I hate it.
We talk about weirdness. I swear this is the butt ugliest Joker design I've ever seen in my entire life.
It's not good.
I don't think anybody looks great here.
I like the beard on Mr. Freeze.
Okay. Like, Bane looks ugly. Two-Face is uglier than normal.
Okay.
Like,
fucking get me started.
I'll say Scarecrow is fucking ugly in this movie.
Yeah.
Well, when you get down to it, there's even the turtles look a bit kind of off. I accepted it, but they'd look off.
Yeah,
as well.
Yeah, like Tiff walked in on me when I was watching this, and she was complaining about the animation. She's like, I don't like their eyes. They're like reverse Funko Pops. So, but it bothered her.
I'm always on the fence about turtle eyes. Sometimes they look good with irises. Sometimes they don't. I don't know.
I don't mind them. Besides the Batman villains, I had no complaints with the animation. I like the way the turtles look. I'm okay with the Bat heroes. I'm okay with Ra's al Ghul. It was just the other like Arkham villains that kind of rubbed me the wrong way, and I don't really care for the transformation stuff is cool because it was a good melding of Turtles and Batman, but I don't like what they transform into for all of them. Oh, also, okay. Bane is really stupid in this for some reason.
It's Bane.
Yeah, like, no, don't give me that shit. Bane is one of the smartest foes Batman's ever faced. Bane is a fucking genius. Don't you dare be like, oh, he's dumb because he's Bane. No.
Well, he was definitely an intelligent villain in Batman and Robin, so we have that.
It's just go listen to our Knightfall episode if you want to hear me praise Bane.
We need to read that second arc.
Well, I'm all for it. I mean, in most movies, Bane is just shitted on. I didn't even like him in Rises. I mean, it is what it is, but
that's not Bane. That's Steve. It's a guy named Steve that put on a mask. That's all.
Oh, what you guys talking about? That movie gave us the best Bane voice ever.
Yeah, Sean Connery with a mask on.
No, like, okay, no, I can't. We're gonna have things to say when we get to that movie.
That's what we're here for.
Yes.
So I have a really stupid question that you guys hope you can answer about the mutagen.
Please.
Oh, go ahead.
How does it know what animal you're supposed to make you? Because obviously later in the movie, they inject the Arkham villains and they inject Batman. What would have happened if they injected Batman and he turned into a fucking giraffe? Like,
Well,
Well,
to be
I
fair,
mean-
the way the mutagen works is it depends on what animal you last touched when you are then exposed to the mutagen, such as the turtles became humans because they were exposed to a guy who was a guy, and he had touched rats somehow, apparently, before he touched the mutagen, which makes zero sense. He also touched turtles, but so he turned into Splinter. That's how that works. So when you take two idiots named Rocksteady and Bebop, you bring a war lab and rub them all over, and they turn into that. There you go.
It really
No, it makes
depends
zero
on what
sense.
iteration you're talking about, typically. But yeah,
But I mean, in the IDW comic, it follows that same route. Oh God, what the hell is that evil cat's name?
Hobbs.
Forgot his name. Yeah, he was touched by a human, so he turns into a humanoid cat. Hell, one of the foot soldiers turns into a pigeon in this movie.
One turned into a T-Rex.
Yeah, don't forget the T-Rex one.
So that guy was at the museum shortly before. Is that how that worked? I
mean, I just thought, well, the pigeon I thought was a reference to Pigeon Pete, and it made me smile.
I kind of figured the same. Yeah.
Has to be.
I don't know. I mean, it really depends. And some other iterations, they mix the mutagen with, animal DNA, and then but they didn't show that in here. So I don't know. In this case, the only way that it made sense to me was like what animal you have innately within you, kind of thing, like some dormant DNA that just comes out. That's the only thing that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
It's not explained.
No, but that also gives more credence to the Splinter was a human theory.
It's just bonkers. That's all I got.
It is bonkers.
And not in a good way. So, that's all I got, because some of them make sense to me. I mean, it is a cool plot that they release Joker, then Joker infects all the Arkham inmates with the mutant gen, so that way they're gonna fight that way they fight Batman. Like, there's some cool. I don't really Harley Quinn being a hyena. Makes sense. Scarecrow being a raven.
He's not a raven, he's a crow.
That's a crow.
Scare.
It's
crow.
Boo! But yes, I get it.
I like Scarecrow as the crow, actually.
Yeah,
I
actually,
think
too. That
works.
Yeah, that worked perfectly, actually.
I like
I'm
it,
fine
but
with
I liked it better when it was a raven in my head. I don't like the pun. So, Poison Ivy becomes a plant. That was fair.
that was stupid.
No,
Stupid,
that was
but fair.
stupid. Like, that's a plant's not an animal last time I checked. So if people can become non-animals, then why don't we have like more people who get splashed with the mutagen and become, I don't know, notebooks?
So what you're saying is I'd become a microphone?
I don't know, maybe.
Okay. I spent enough time in front of one.
So maybe what they're saying is that you're some type of other living entity, because at least a plant is alive.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I guess.
And she is technically a plant woman, depending on the canon.
There's too many canons. That's the problem. I think if I had to pick a problem with this movie, there's too many canons.
And there's a lot of merging of different canons in this movie.
Yeah. And why does Baxter Stockman sound like the Jeff Goldblum fly? Why?
Because somebody watched that movie for the audition for the...
Like, I'm sure it was a very conscious choice. I'm sure of it.
100% had to be.
But, like, it doesn't match canon for any of the shows, any of the movies. Like, wasn't Baxter Stockman played by Tyler Perry at one point?
In the movies that we don't talk about, yes.
Yes, actually it was. I think the second one.
So, like, none of anywhere has Baxter Stockman ever sounded like The Fly, except in The Fly, starring Jeff Goldblum, not connected to this universe. So, like, this is all over the place.
At least they made Baxter Stockman the Fly in other iterations where he is not a fly. Or my favorite iteration where he slowly becomes no longer human and he ends up just being a big brain in a jar.
Yeah, that is so fucking dark for a cartoon.
Yeah, I love that cartoon.
It's a good cartoon.
90s or late 80s Ninja Turtle cartoon Baxter Stockman supremacy right here. That's my Baxter.
Look,
The Fly. I'm okay with it. What, Joe?
You guys are a little bit older than me, so my TMNT is the weird 2000 TMNT turtles. Yeah, my turtles were the weird 2000s turtles, so yeah, you guys got me beat on that. I vaguely remember the 90s turtles, but I was like a baby when that came out.
I will say those were the best toys, without a doubt.
The 90s turtles?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So much so that they're remaking them now.
Don't get me started on those. Me and Rich talked. Rich, we talked about them bringing back the Power Rangers toys, and we're kind of okay with it. Yeah,
I don't. Last time, it's like just rehashing the original molds and models. Which, I mean, if you lost your original ones and you want some nostalgia sitting on your shelf, I mean, that's the way to go.
Yeah, and you don't have to pay upwards of $100 for a figure.
The
That's what they should do for like all these nostalgic purposes. Just start, remaking stuff and making the originals not worth as much. That's how you do it.
That's his fair, yeah, honestly.
The plot of this movie is really weird though, because it just has the Turtles coming from New York to Gotham.
Yeah, like they're already in the same universe, and they've kind of heard rumors of some mythical bat figures. So there's no time, no dimensional travel. Like in the comic, there actually is, and here they're in the same universe.
I don't like that.
Then you'll like the comic, because the comic actually makes it make sense.
I'm fine with dimensional travel when it's two different universes, but driving, we could just go to Gotham wherever we want. We just drive down the street. No, doesn't work for me.
More importantly, we were robbed of Casey Jones in this movie.
Yeah.
He's in the comic, isn't he?
He's in the comic.
Okay.
We could have had Casey Jones, but we didn't.
Oh, we got Barbara Gordon. That's great.
It's not even close to the same. Give me a break.
Or Turtles. Maybe that's why they did it that way. But I don't know. I would have liked Casey Jones.
It feels like they were trying to even out the characters from both worlds in a way, but that's all I can think of.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't love it. I don't have to love it though.
No, but you have the comic.
Yeah.
But me not talking fast enough, apparently.
Oops.
No, I'm glad you read it.
By the way, I bought the third volume.
Oh, speaking of random things I always meant to get to, Red Sun, I think, got taken off Max for some reason.
What?
So when I do watch it, I'll have to watch it other means.
Yeah, this also isn't on Max, but I think it's because it's also owned by Nickelodeon.
Yeah, but to be fair, Max...
It was on Max.
Yeah, but Max also... Max is trying the strategy of you pay them and they don't give you anything but take your money. They're trying that strategy really hard. Trying it.
That is a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see how it works out for him.
I mean, that's how it feels. Like he owned this damn properties. I understand this one. I'm not. But they took off Batman the Animated Series off. I'm pretty sure off Max at one point. They were talking about doing it. You own the fucking shit. But I mean, I get it. You got to pay artists. Oh no, we got to pay the artists. It's okay. Just pay the fucking artists and keep the show on.
They could just go the Spotify route, play it anyway, and barely pay anybody.
Yes, unfortunately, that is true too. But it's one of those things that always irritates me with Max. Max loves to take off stuff. Disney Plus is trying it too, but at least they're keeping on some things. The years we live in. But it makes me angry in every sense. Don't do that. Just leave it on there. That's why people subscribe, because they want to watch the stuff that they know the company produced, that they know, oh, this should be here. No, it can't. Max is too busy farming out the stuff it owns to other streaming services so they can get paid instead of keeping on the one they make, because that makes sense. There's my rant that I've been waiting to do all episode. So you're welcome.
I feel like all we've been doing this episode is ranting.
Welcome to Games My Mom Found, where you rant about stupid shit. But you are right. We are doing a lot. That's fine. The shift for over coming back. That's all I see it.
You hear that, listening public? Mike just said out loud with his full chest, "It's your fault." Oh man. I know I've been shitting on this movie a lot, but I do like this movie. I think it was a really interesting experiment to try in the first place. Having Batman and Ninja Turtles, these two completely disparate properties. there is really nothing that brings them together.
What are you talking about? They're both ninjas.
But Batman and Last Ronin Ninja Turtle, that I'd watch.
I'll watch the shit out of that.
Because that would go hard.
God, I can't wait for that fucking thing. I refuse to read that comic until the game comes out and I can play it.
Good comic, though, man.
I know.
Okay.
Dude, you're fucking missing out.
Last Ronin's really good. If I ever meet Kevin Eastman, I have a Funko Pop. I have him signed of Last Ronin. So if I ever meet him. But I get where you're coming from. But no, Ken, you are also right. That does feel more fitting. I don't mind these worlds meshing. I mean, my whole thing when it comes to a crossover, it just has to work enough that both sets of characters get their moments to shine, and it feels like a good combination. And this deal, like we talked about already, with the all Arkham villains becoming, mutants. It works for this. I might not agree with everything they do, but it still works enough.
Can't believe they made Bane.
The Bane part, but my problem with Bane is that, especially after reading Knightfall, I am now cursed that any Bane that doesn't live up to Knightfall is going to be a shit Bane story. So I'm cursed with every movie and TV show, anything I watch that isn't the comics with Bane now, the rest of my life. because they're
They
never
made
going to
him.
do that. Oh, I mean,
made
good in
it.
the games. I mean, I take that back. Arkham Origin does a good fucking job with Bane.
We say Origins.
Origin.
Okay, I didn't say they kind of give him the fucking staff and fucking city, and it kind
I don't
of sucks. But
well, going in that one area, you fight him. Yeah, but that's because he was such a big part in Asylum. It's fine that they're just like, he's here. Here's your side mission. Fight him. You're done. I'm okay with that. But they do a good job with him. Origins. I mean, they give him good stuff. Where like Batman and Robin, the movie, he's awful. He's a fucking joke character. Batman The Dark Knight Rises. It's not even Bane. It's some guy. I'm going to make that joke again. It's some guy named Steve that is. It's just Tom Hardy. That's all. Just Tom Hardy. There's no Bane. Just Tom Hardy. So yeah, that's my other complaint. But no, this just I don't like him being goofy. I do appreciate the joke in here where they say, "Hey, creature, leave that kid alone." I did appreciate that joke.
Wasn't the only one that noticed that.
what?
No, I noticed it too. I was just ignoring it.
I liked it. I laughed the first time I heard it.
I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
Pink Floyd song.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's why he likes it.
Yeah, one of the lines is a reference that nobody watching this movie probably got. Like, that is not the audience.
That's
really,
why I
for
felt-
this movie.
Now that you bring that up, like when I heard that line, I was like, man, whoever was like producing this or somebody on the writing team, there has to be one or two old guys that are just throwing shit that they liked when they were younger in here, like the 70s Batman fit, that line, and amongst a few other things that let me feel and know that there's some old guys on that fucking team.
Yeah, I mean, it does feel a little out of place,
Yeah.
like, because I'm assuming, like, even 30-year-olds that are watching this, or not everybody's gonna, and your audience is probably not 30-year-olds, are not gonna know Pink Floyd. Like, I shouldn't know Pink Floyd, but I do because of my father. I also don't care for Pink Floyd. I just know that reference. Never been a band I was a very big fan of.
You know what I think the best mutagen design was, honestly, and it kind of pops off.
What?
Kind of like that Two-Face Siamese cat design, honestly.
Okay, but when Two-Face was turning into that was one of the most horrifying things that I have ever seen in an animated movie. Like, it looked like that was painful,
No.
and I was here for it.
No, I think the most terrifying thing I didn't need to see was a hyena Harley Quinn making out with the Snake Joker. I don't think I ever needed to see that in my entire life.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thanks for that.
You can crop it list now. I don't feel bad. I feel like you made me watch some weird shit. Maybe not. Ken has. I don't know if Joe has. You made me watch
I know.
Paprika, so
I made you watch Paprika, so
you're welcome. Now I feel less
See, Paprika.
bad because I enjoy Paprika. Yeah, you might not
Just
want to
wait.
listen to me then.
you're gonna want to listen to that episode, Ken.
You can curse me.
This movie, I also love to admit, I feel like it started maybe while they were writing halfway through the movie. This movie does get a little bit sillier towards the end, and I kind of wish it was a little bit silly throughout the movie, but I appreciate the silly moments.
Honestly, I love the
It's
silly
true.
moments. I love that Michelangelo spearheads most of them like he should.
Like, I like that this is the movie that gets Batman to eat pizza.
And allow his son to eat pizza.
Yeah.
Batman is a billionaire. What is pizza but like a penny to him? Like, oh, you guys want pizza for the night? Okay, that's fine.
He doesn't know what pizza is.
Dude, you see that guy's abs?
Yeah.
He got those abs with pizza.
No, because I can't get those abs with pizza, and I've been trying. But guess what? Abs aren't worth cutting out pizza. I'm sorry, they're not.
So, Richard, that why when I saw you last week, you didn't recommend a pizza place?
Maybe.
You did recommend a really good hibachi restaurant, though. Oh, man, I was surprised. Yeah, we were in Milwaukee. Anyone that's in Milwaukee, listen to this. I know some of you are. What is it? Japanica, the restaurant was called?
Japanica.
Japanica. Fucking good food. I was surprised. And it wasn't even that expensive. Like $20, which is not like $23 for a nice dinner. And you can get a show, too, if you want, which we didn't. But fucking good food, man.
All right. I may have to check that
I was
out.
surprised. So, and
But we are
Milwaukee
not
Horcon is
officially
doing that.
endorsed by Japanica.
No, we're not endorsed by anybody, unfortunately. Every so often
We're
I get
also not
ads.
endorsed by
Domino's?
we're not endorsed by Dickie's Barbecue.
Yeah, that was good, though. It was actually good.
Oh, I could go for some Dickies.
I had really good food on my trip. The weird things that happened on this podcast. No, I didn't like Joker as a snake. I mean, it fits Joker, but I didn't like it. Batman turning into Man-Bat, that was fine.
Was it though?
I didn't mind it.
I mean, was it? Like, in a world where there's already a Man-Bat, as there is in Batman's world.
In this canon.
Yeah. Well, I would imagine so, because it seems like his animated series canon. And that was the first episode of the animated series was Man-Bat.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, it kind of hits a little less.
That's fair. I mean, also, we should mention that the whole idea of them with the Cloud Seeker and making that device and then putting it above Gotham, two things here. One, to turn everybody into monsters that then go crazy because they also have Scarecrow gas. Where have I heard that plot line before? Yes, I know where I heard it. But, and also, the Cloud Seeker, isn't that what's in Arkham Knight the Scarecrow's trying to do also? It is.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
it copies too.
Look, Wayne
So that
Tech make
begins. Batman
Begins and Arkham Knight.
Oh, Arkham Knight. Okay, got you. Well,
Both
I
of
heard
them.
Dark
I mean,
Knight on that.
Batman Begins, Ra's al Ghul wants to flood the city with Scarecrow gas, so everyone goes crazy and kills each other to show corrupted Gotham is. And in this, it's kind of the same thing.
Well, that goes into the really goofy thing, which is, I guess, fine. It's usually just, what is it? It's Wayne Tech makes like environmental stuff, so of course they use the rain machine to pour chemicals onto the area. What pisses me off the most, though, is of course it's Batman, but it's like, oh man, where are they going? Well, we have two options, and I'm pretty sure the first one's Ace Chemical Plant. They're at Ace Chemical Plant. We'll just go that way.
Yeah, I mean, there's no, like, detectiveness, which they could have done. But, yeah. It would have been nice to have a little, Batman being Batman. They do call him detective in this a few times.
I do like that Leonardo calls him out for fighting like a detective. That was nice. But I am a simple man, apparently.
I liked it too. Leo's good in this.
I like the turtle van, and it gets glasses.
I like that Raph's motorcycle looks like Metalhead.
Now I need to clip into that and see this scene. The whole thing with the van, I mean, that's very much the 87 show.
Well, that's where it came from.
I don't like that van, even though I had it as a toy. Don't like that van. Okay, young Mike liked that van. Adult Mike does not like that van.
Is it because it's shitty?
I don't know. It just doesn't work for me. I don't know, but it's just a weird little thing. But the fact that it shoots out the manhole covers that are colored like pizzas make me laugh because it's a reference to the toy. So it made me smile because the toy shot out pizzas. I know I had it, and I lost the pizzas really quickly. So yeah,
And that's also where you get another reference to the live action movie when Donnie hits somebody with a meatloaf.
It was shoot out.
Meatloaf. Oh my god, I'm hungry apparently. When Donnie hits someone with a manhole and he says Bossa Nova. And I was like, oh yeah.
I think my favorite moment from that whole thing is where they're driving and Batman tells Michelangelo to hit every button, and it goes over and fucking Damien's like, oh, he got to hit every button. I've always wanted to do that. That actually got a pretty good chuckle out of me.
That's a good one. He's so sad.
Batman will do anything but be an actual father.
Also,
yeah, he's a shitty ass father.
I know why. I honestly could have seen it coming, and if you guys read the comic, you can probably say it does happen. If it does, I will eat a whole burrito. I was like 90% sure they were going to use a mutant on a Ra's al Ghul, and they were going to turn him into a dragon, but that didn't happen.
No, it did not.
Damn.
Sorry, no burrito. Guess you just have to eat a burrito and teach me a lesson.
Chipotle does sound good. My wife won't say yes to it, though. But Chipotle does sound good. And you are right. That is a metalhead reference in that motorcycle. Okay. Even cooler. It doesn't fit, but even cooler. So another thing, one random thing I want to mention, the Batgirl's costume. The girl from the frickin' like New 52 run, I want to say. Which seems odd to me that when you have everything else, but it doesn't matter. It's just something I thought of.
I like the suit. It's more homemade, more jacket. I also like there's a part where she gets her cape grabbed and it just snaps off.
That is pretty handy, and I'm sure somewhere Edna Mode from The Incredibles is like, yes. Gonna have a cape, you gotta make sure it's detachable.
Yeah, I haven't seen that movie in so long.
So good.
All right, kind of running out of things to say about the movie. Eventually, Shredder and Ra's al Ghul turned on each other. Who would have guessed? I forgot.
What? No.
It's just like the Rita and Astronema situation we read in the Godzilla crossover with Power Rangers. Like the villains just can't get along and they almost sabotage each other. It's not as bad as here, but yeah.
Well, they want two different things, which is always what always ends up happening. I do think them snapping Donatello's fucking arm like a fucking goddamn glow stick was pretty fucked up, but
Donnie in Turtles history always gets the worst of the brutality.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He does historically. Like even IDW Mirage did it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn shame. I always liked him because, he was the nerd. And I, too, am nerd.
I feel that.
But no, apparently not. This is what happens. Nerds gets their ass whooped. All right, fine.
And then they do the thing they always do, where they let Leo beat Ra's al Ghul and also 8 Trigram 64 palm his ass.
I understand that reference.
Thank you, Ken. I appreciate that.
I didn't get it.
It's Naruto.
It's a Naruto
that's
thing.
why
You
I
wouldn't
didn't get it.
understand.
I watched a few
You
episodes.
better keep that tone out of your damn voice, Mike.
I watched a few episodes of Naruto. The only reason I stay far away from it is because I have a very selected fear of my wife getting into animes and then wanting to buy all said Funko Pops from an anime. So that's why I stay far away from Naruto, My Hero Academia, because there are tons of Funko Pops, and I am terrified.
Yeah, that Naruto one.
That's fair.
So, because we have all the Inuyasha Funko Pop, we have all the Trigun Funko Pop. I have over 20 to 30 Harley Quinn Funko Pop. So
I need that.
That's you.
Those aren't mine, but yes.
I need that
She loves
Trigun
Funko
Funko. I need that Trigun Funko Pop where his arm becomes the big angel cannon. But to be fair, I made a mistake. I forgot. Leonardo kicks Ra's al Ghul in the dick, then a Trigram 64 palms him, which is also equally funny.
This is true, yeah. I like a little banter about that too, like Raz or Raish, whatever. He says, like, I've learned from masters across time. And Leo's like, I learned from a rat and I'm a fucking teenager. Your nuts are now in your stomach.
It is good to have the Turtles fighting Ra's al Ghul and to have Batman fighting Shredder. I like when any crossover stuff, switches the villains. I think that's always a good.
And then Batman knocks Shredder into the chemicals and goes, man, we really need to fucking get those things moved.
That's the second time he's done the same thing. Good job.
I feel like Joker wasn't necessary in this movie because I do get annoyed with Joker and everything. I know someone else does on this podcast too, but yeah.
We have to have 5 issues, so something has to happen in between the first two issues and the last issue.
Yeah, pretty much. And then eventually the Turtles win, and then they, I guess, okay, that last ending where they all have pizza, that is like I know we talked a little bit about it, but that is also a very cute moment.
It's cute.
Of course, Batman folds his fucking pizza.
You don't?
Hey, you know what?
I don't either.
That's depending
New
on how
York
big the
shit.
slice is. That's the move.
I would, I mean, maybe some of the New York listeners could speak on it, but I would assume most New Yorkers do that.
Well, with the New York slices, they're like big. They're big boys. And trying to eat without folding is not intelligent.
The only wrong way to eat pizza is ass first. I don't know who does that, and I believe you're a
Who does
psychopath.
that?
They've
All
showed
right.
that.
Obviously, none of you remember when stuffed crust became a thing
Thank you, Ken.
first.
Yeah.
Yeah, when stuffed crust became a thing, people were like, eat your pizza ass first. And it's like, why?
And it's because we did that, some people did. That's why we are where we are as a country now. I will not explain, nor will I take it back.
Did
I remember those dumbass commercials now that you mention it.
I have a very important question to ask. I know Ken probably knew, and I know Rich also probably knows better. Mike, did you see the after credit scene?
Oh, yeah.
No, because it didn't let me.
Dear God.
Okay.
What it did is I was starting to watch like the crossover comics that they show, but then Amazon said, no, you don't want to watch the rest of this. You want to watch this, and started sending me other movies. But I am watching it now as you brought it up.
You can stop that.
You can if you connect the remote to your TV and don't realize you didn't do it and hit buttons and nothing happens. So I use a phone as my remote because I lost my remote multiple times. I have a Roku TV, and with the Roku app, you have to sometimes reconnect the app to your TV. There's your fun
Yeah, that's
fact you
true.
didn't ask for.
I'm gonna say this as an avid person. If every
Phone.
I'm gonna say this as an avid person, everyone knows me. I'd never recommend Amazon or Roku sticks. I'm gonna at some point in the next couple months, I'm going to fucking bite the bullet and just spend $100 on a fucking Chromecast.
If you were going to say Apple, I was going to have to disown you. So thank you.
Fuck no, dude. You know I hate Apple.
I know, that's the other reason I made that joke. I know
The
some
only way I
people
would
on this podcast have an Apple phone.
No idea what you mean. It's crazy.
The only way I would is if they said that there's no issue. But then again, I don't get fucking phone call. Oh no, I do get phone calls about Apple products. Never mind. They can suck my ass.
In my job, I have to ask people sometimes what phone they have.
Why?
I can't discuss that at the moment, but I do for this comes up sometime. I'm waiting for the after credit thing to still show up, but I'm seeing all the different. I do like the comic cover montage thing of different like famous covers for both Batman and Turtles, but then they changed it. I do really like this. I wouldn't mind some of these as real comics.
Yeah, I like the fake covers, and like some of them are real with just like like a turtle in place of someone else. Or
Yeah,
pretty damn
they even
cool.
have the Justice League first appearance, but it's Batman and the Turtles. That's fucking cool. A book I will never own. No, Turtles #1. Okay, I want that as a poster. The Batman and Turtles, but it's the original like looking cover.
Yeah, I would take that.
Yeah, that's fucking cool. I'm assuming we're never getting a second one of these since this came out in 2019.
I highly doubt it.
No, you have thought that. You'd be surprised how often. Is there a second run of this?
There's 3.
There's 3 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get another run of this.
What the
But-
hell?
You mean the Shredder Joker?
No, that whatever. That's
Okay.
just it's lazy if you ask me.
It is
but-
lazy, yes.
Now,
what I'm what the helling about is the fact that this movie on Rotten Tomatoes has a 100%.
Did one guy review it?
No, 15 people reviewed it.
Okay.
And that's, the professional ones. And somehow this is 100%, which is mind-boggling.
Huh? Weird. I thought it was pretty okay. I mean,
It's fine. It's not a bad movie.
yeah, it's not a bad movie.
It's not, but it's
Not
not.
100%.
No.
If it makes you feel better, Batman and Harley Quinn have like a 50. So.
You have a 0. Fucking hate that movie.
It's a bad movie.
We reviewed it. Go listen.
I
to
know.
us
We
talk
were all
shit
and we
about
were
that
all
movie.
drunk too.
Oh yeah, we were all. Well, you guys were drunk. I was high.
We were all under the influence.
Oh, but
It just,
you know what though? It is a cheap move because you just basically made you made the Shredder into the Joker, which is a unfunny point. What you should have done was made him into a clown, but the Shredder is a sad clown. That's funnier.
Hey, I got some news for you here, Ken. I'm looking up this. Another Batman movie got 100% on here. One I know you're a big fan of. Batman: The Long Halloween Part 1 is 100%.
I fucking quit this goddamn.
I knew that was upsetting him. Oh, and don't worry, good Batman. Another Batman movie that Batman: Mask of Phantasm got an 83%.
Yeah. Okay. All right. There we go. There is your disconnect. Because that is quite possibly, in my personal opinion, objective, that is the best representation of Batman animation in a feature film that we have ever gotten and likely will ever get. And for that to be, 80 something?
Yeah, 83.
Well, this is 100%.
Oh,
You know what else is 100%? Let's go through some of these other movies that are 100%. Grave of the Fireflies is 100%.
there's only one person made it through it.
Like,
I won't watch
that one
movie.
actually, okay, I'll give it to because it's a great movie. But like Seven Samurai, Akira Kurosawa's masterpiece, 100%. Singing in the Rain, 100%. Disagree, but whatever. The point is, these are hallowed classics in the halls of history. And this is Batman versus Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh, and this will make you feel better. Batman Sub-Zero got a 92%.
Get the fuck out of here.
What movie is that?
Movie I haven't watched yet for this podcast that I want to.
Godzilla -1, an amazing movie, got a 99%. Are you trying to tell me that people legitimately think this is better than Godzilla -1?
Yeah, that's
Wow.
fair.
Better than Paddington 2?
You were
Get
the
outta
second person
here.
I have heard on a podcast tell me I should watch Paddington 2. All right.
Yeah,
I'm
you
not saying
know,
you should watch it.
I was like on something the other day, like on the internet, and someone's like, "Go watch
Oh, you're-
Paddington 2."
I thought you were going somewhere else with that.
Yeah, no, someone on the internet was like, "You should go watch Paddington 2. I've never cried harder in my entire life." And I'm like, "Huh, I should watch Paddington 2."
All right, we should go to self-sacrifice
Point is-
while we're wandering.
We
Yes.
we should. We should before I get more angry.
And Rich, why don't you lead us in?
Well, this here, again, it's a bit different than the comics. I love the comic, but if we're talking about just the movie itself, the way that I look at this, and I was actually a little bit surprised that I know I enjoyed it the first time. This second time, I enjoyed it even more. Now, my favorite iterations of Turtles is in the 1990s version. It always will be, and it's one of my favorite movies of all time. Now, with that said, this movie right here is probably the second best Turtles movie that I've ever seen.
Wow.
So that lets you know how I feel about it. And for its flaws, it definitely has flaws. We covered enough of those on here, but it's a fun time. It's a good time. I could watch this movie again. Will I watch it annually like I do the 90s movie? Fucking no. But will I watch it again? Yeah, I'll probably watch it again down the line. I thought it was a good time. It was a good ride. The references were good. The shout outs to previous iterations were good. I thought the mesh of both worlds was handled decently as well. I'll put it on the shelf.
All right. I'll go next. I'm going to put this on the shelf too. I enjoyed this movie. I enjoyed it less the second time, but I think that was just, I had to watch this morning before this podcast and I wasn't in the mood for a movie. But I still enjoy this movie. I think it's really cool. I'm happy it exists. I really need to read the comic. I'm happy this movie exists and happy it's finally, on this show. Joe.
So on the shelf, I had a lot of fun with this. Even my husband liked it. We were sitting there joking around. Like I said, there's certain things I can get him to watch if it's different or interesting. And even though I do force him to watch stuff, he had a pretty good time with it. Not a great time with it. So most definitely shelf.
Okay. And Kenneth.
I liked it. Will I watch it again? Probably. Do I think I can put it on the shelf? I don't. I will put it on a high stack, like toward the top of the stack, so I can reach for it again. But it felt too jumbled for me to put it on the shelf. Like the comic book sticks to things better. And this just felt like it was trying too hard to be too many things to too many people.
It's a fair assessment. I mean, I still appreciate it, but no, it's a very fair assessment that it's trying a broad audience. And a lot of times when you do that, you appeal to no one.
I'm not saying it's bad. I enjoyed it. It was fun. I don't want people to think that this is a bad movie. It's not. For me personally, I can't put it on the shelf. But stack is still praise. And high stack, high praise.
Okay, that's about what I expected. No, I'm happy we finally covered this. This has been a movie that's been on my mind since 2019 when it came out. So, yeah. And I'm always happy to have stuff that crosses over two different franchises because then it gets to go on two different lists for me when I make my Abbey Word documents and put lists together. So, it makes me happy. Little things make me happy. Yeah, I guess we'll just go to plug. If you enjoyed this episode, over 750 episodes of this podcast, you want to hear the rest of our Batman and TMNT contact, I have good news for you. They will all be in the show notes for you to check out. So lots of episodes to go listen in there if you just wanted to scroll through and see all the fucking amount of content we make for this podcast. You can go on Podbean and search anything you want and see all the things that we make. Tons of content on there. If you want to be a part of the show, if you want to suggest things for the show, join our Discord. It's free. So that's where I ask for people to join. That's where I take suggestions that I do get to someday. It takes me a while sometimes, but I am knocking stuff off that list right now. So definitely go do that. And if you want to support the show, we do have Patreon, a little dark vote in our Patreon polls. We have 1 to 2 polls a month, so a great way to support the show. And want to give shout out to my awesome intro and outro, courtesy of Elena at Hell Has Fury. Follow her on TikTok and Instagram. Definitely go check her out. And check out A Gamer Looks at 40 with Bill Tucker. And please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, YouTube, audio only, TikTok, and rate and reviews over your podcast. I think that's everything I need to say, so we will see you guys all next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
See ya.
So long.